are you here? I know some people said they were coming today, and that's the way it goes. So we'll see if anybody can get here quick. So we've got this live ready to go, and I'm just going to pull up my information to make sure I don't forget anything I want to tell you about today. But hey, one thing I thought you might like to know is a little bit more about this crazy top I'm wearing. I don't know how much you can actually see, but you know, all the way down. This is called a kimono or whatever, and it's my favorite thing to wear. And here's a little secret: since I'm married and I love my husband, I like to usually wear things that he loves and will appreciate, and things I look great in. You know, he says I'm hot or whatever. So I like to wear things that, you know, get him to get a response like that. And I think it's fine to dress for our man. But what I don't do is that, because my husband's actually a firefighter, and because he's a firefighter, that makes him gone 24 hours at a time. And when he's gone, I wear whatever the heck I want. And he's not crazy about this long moo looking thing, you know, kimono, whatever they call it. But I'll tell you, I love it. I love the way it makes me feel. I love that it's light, it's airy, it moves really easy, and that makes me want to just be able to enjoy myself when he's not around. So that's what I do. Today I want to talk to you about just being yourself, because, you know, there was a time in my life when I would look in the mirror and I had a hard time facing myself. I couldn't look at myself. I was unable to just look at the mirror and say anything positive. And that really was hard for me. And then I was talking to my mother-in-law, and she was telling me about you get to this point in your life where you can look in the mirror and you like what you see. And when you can look in the mirror and like what you see, you will know that you have arrived. And at the time, I did not understand that comment at all. I understood it was a golden nugget, and I was going to aim and just really try to get to that place, but I did not know what that meant. So I continued to work on just getting myself in the place I needed to be. And what I say to that is that, you know, we use just such a small part of our brains. Our brains are capable of doing so much more than we ever imagined, and we just don't push them to the limit that they need to be pushed. So what I say to you is, find something to challenge yourself in. Whether you find a new hobby or try a new skill, or just something to nurture you inside as a person, as a woman, and just a daughter of, you know, a God that lives above. And just try to find that part in you that will just expand, explore, and just grow, and just do things to help you be better. So just try it, try a new thing, and try it and see. Now, there was something that came out not too long ago, a movie that was so inspiring to me. It just brought on a whole new level of courage for me. And I don't know if you watch movies very often, but there was this movie, and you know, I have this little saying behind me, and it says, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. And I think that's so worth mentioning and so worth remembering, because of who we represent. And sometimes we forget that we are so significant, and it's important that we remember our value as women, as mothers, as wives, and just as people in general. So I think that that's really an important thing to recognize. Okay, so now let's talk about this movie that I saw, okay? This movie was so great that I watched it like 5 times. I'm not even kidding you. I went to the theater and I was like, I have to see it. I saw it with my daughter. I saw it with my husband. I saw it with my kids. And then I saw it again with my husband. He was so sweet to go with me again. And I saw it with my other daughter because I just loved it. So here's what I found, okay? I went and saw this movie so many times. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this. But check this woman out. Do you recognize her already from her amazingness? Cha-cha! There she is. I just bought this poster a couple of weeks ago, and I just bought a frame to put this picture in. And you know what? that's who my mentor is. I think of her in that movie Place that she was in. And some of my favorite parts of that movie were, when those women, they came, they were doing that practice run where you had I read an article about it, that they had found these women that were really strong, and it was important to them to find strong, amazing women to play these roles. And that when they were sitting there fighting on that island, and they were practice fighting up on the hill, and they were doing these amazing things, shooting arrows and, laying down on this horse and still shooting something. I mean, they were just incredible, and they were doing amazing things that you didn't even realize women were capable of doing. At least I didn't realize how amazing, but it just really brought to my mind how powerful and amazing we are as women. And so then there was the part where their beautiful island, this hidden island, was invaded, and all these ships were coming to attack them, and these women came like warriors, and they came and they just jumped off and rappelled off of this huge mountainous cliff and down on horses around the bottom of the cliff, and they just came and attacking in this stance. And I just was like, oh my gosh, that is so inspiring. And then there was this crazy line, I just think about how these women are, and how in our lives that, Kat Brewer says this all the time, and this is where I totally was at when I found her, was just that women need to be warriors. We need to be strong. We need to be powerful. And that's totally what I'm saying with Wonder Woman and how amazing she is. That you are that same woman. You are powerful. Find that inner warrior. Find that strong woman inside you and bring her to the forefront and let her be the one that just makes you happy and finds all the happiness. And one of my favoriteest quotes in that movie of all, if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. But there's this quote in the movie after she takes on this assembly of men. She comes out and she's really upset about the way things are going. And she just says, if these men aren't willing to fight for women and children, then they are cowards. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so good. And I wrote it down. And maybe she didn't say it exactly like that, but that's what it spoke to me and what I heard, that, men who aren't willing to stand up for women and stand up for children, they're flat out cowards. And those are the kind of men I don't want to be around, because that means they're not going to protect us. They're not going to defend us. I mean, you look at us, we don't have the muscles. I mean, some women can beat up their husbands, whatever, but a man who's strong and you're not as strong as, there's just an incredible difference between men and women. And I think women are so amazing, but our strengths are different than a man's strengths. So, Wonder Woman, she's my hero. And I hope that you have a hero that you can look up to, and someone that you can, who inspires you and drives you to be better and helps you want to be better. And that is just so important as women, that we find someone to have be our role model and just give us courage to attack those things that we need to attack. And, I will review a few books that I read, but I remember a time when I had a hard time just getting out of bed, and I was going through a depression. I had 5 or 6 kids, and things were just really tough in our marriage, and just life was tough. And I read these Reader's Digest books about these amazing people, and this one I read about, I can't even remember who I read it about, but it just gave me such a whole new respect for women. And a lot of the books I read were about women, so I'll start highlighting some of them occasionally. I love to read. I'm an avid reader, and the more information I can get from people's life experiences, the better. I think it helps me be more wise and helps me be able to make better decisions. So the more things that you can do that are hobbies, and the more you can challenge yourself and the more you can grow because of those challenges, the more excited that you will be about life. I just realized that I posted that this was going to be Mountain Standard Time. I apologize to all of you. I'm really on Pacific Standard Time. Oh my gosh, I'm nuts. Anyways, you'll be seeing this anyhow. I'm thinking of you, dear friends who were on there. Feel free to leave a comment below. You can subscribe below right here in the corner. But just remember, look for amazing women. Look for incredible women. Just find incredible women to be like, but be that incredible woman yourself. Find that power in you, find that strength in you, find that warrior in you who's willing to fight every day, and find a reason to just get up and be amazing every day. You know, like that quote always goes around, you know, have the devil, every time you wake up, the devil say, dang it, she's up. And that's right, because we are going to go through this life with courage and with power and with strength. And that's all I have for today. I will be doing another live on a different topic here in a little bit. And it's about my goals and the ones I was able to reach last year that I talked about in my other video. And I hope that you will be able to make it for that one. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.